Speaking of that, I did want to ask just because it was such a big story for Marriott. I mean, Arne Sorenson seemed to have such an impact, and I can't remember the level of outpouring of support I've ever seen for an executive after that kind of news comes out. And I want to ask, I mean, what kind of impact is that felt on the company? Not just his passing, but just his presence pre this year. I mean, what kind of representative was he for Marriott, and what was it like working for a company that was led by a man like Arne Sorenson?
You know, I will never find the right words
Yeah.
to adequately describe the immense impact that I know he had on myself and so many others. And it was Arnie's humility and his intellect and that rare combination, because there was no doubt he was always the smartest guy in the room, but he was always the last one to speak because he really wanted to hear from everyone around the table. Whether it was our table or CEO roundtable, industry events, or in the public space that he played in quite well. And, I think to me, the moment that really kind of summed it up, and there were many, was when the morning crew from kind of CNBC, Squawk Box was talking about him that morning. And you could just see on those newscasters how emotional they were about talking about Arne Sorenson. And typically they're dealing with hard driving Wall Street types, right?
Hmm.
But Arne had that amazing ability to truly connect with people on the most human level. And he was more interested in you than anything else. When Arne spoke to you, that's all he was thinking about was you. And a lot of people don't have those type of active listening skills, to be honest, coupled with his strategic thought at the same time. So what made Arne special in so many ways? First of all, he obviously stepped in the company as a non-family member in a very large leadership role, wasn't raised in the hotel business, but very quickly understood our DNA and our value system. And, obviously was mentored by Mr. Marriott on the soft skills of our business, as well as what makes our business tick. And Arne had this gift about explaining the most complicated things in the most simple way that people could really understand the impact to them as an individual or the business. And then you take his gifted communication style outside of the walls of the company, and here's an individual who's willing to stand up and fight for what was right, whether it's, equality at work, living wage, LGBTQ rights. I'll never forget during the insurrection, he said, "You can't trample on the Constitution." Those words will never, ever leave my brain. It's those types of moments that really just give me pause. He was a great loss to the industry, and our hearts go out to Ruth and the kids. An incredible family man, deep faith, well-centered. He led us well. He leaves a legacy that our new CEO Tony will build on and not live off of. And that was the other thing about Arne. He didn't live off the Marriott legacy. He built upon it, but was always respectful of what got us to where we are and the pieces that will continue for the duration of the company, soon to be 100 years, pardon me, in the next 5 years or so. Remarkable man and a friend, and dearly missed.
Yeah, again, what I said before, I remember that week, and I just remember hearing from so many different people, and low level people and high level people too, who just had only nice things and only tremendously positive things to say about Arne. And I wanted to ask just because I know you knew him, and it's nice hearing about the people in our industry who have made the impact on the human level that you just described. This is Dan McCarthy, and you're listening to the Check In Podcast.